Ooh, the gym. My old stomping grounds. Hank Patterson, Fly Fishing Guide.
Riley Smith, tight end.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Hey, you wouldn't happen to be the kicker?
No, tight end.
Again, thank you. I'm looking for a kicker for Lithia Ford's fall kickoff sale. But you're not the kicker.
No.
Yeah, the kicker's probably taller and in a lot better shape. So, okay. What position do you play?
Tight end.
Squats. Yeah, try it sometime.
Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, is going all in this season with an all-star lineup. First up, he led the Broncos to 3 conference championships and 10 20-win seasons. It's Coach Leon Rice. Next, he's the founder and CEO of RowPaint.com. He played a little basketball in high school on the driveway with his mom. It's Andy Rowe.
Oh, no. Want to just paint my house?
Now that I can do.
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust RowPaint.com to get that job done right.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Canned Cocktails is perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Now, here's 4-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing, Boise State fans? Happy Friday. We have reached the end of the work week. Hope everything is set for your weekend plans. We'll see if they include a variety of Boise State options. You got the volleyball game, you got the Bronco walk, you got the basketball scrimmage, you got the football game, and you got the KTVB and BNN pregame shows and things covered as well. So full Saturday coming of Boise State coverage tomorrow. And we'll here for about 30 minutes or so, get you set for what should be a interesting day over at Albertson Stadium tomorrow, 6 p.m. kickoff on CBS Sports Network. Our good friend, KTVB Sports Director, Jay Tust joins us. Jay, happy Friday, sir.
Happy Friday, my man. How we doing?
Doing good. We saw you were busy covering the high school events last night. Had some good games in the area on the high school scene on a Thursday. You'll have some more tonight as well. And then Boise State takes over tomorrow.
I would say games of the week were on Thursday last night. Some of the best games of the year in Boise High, man. I think they're 6-1 now on the season. Have a chance to get to 7-1 if they can knock off CUNA next week. I mean, this is a program that that has struggled to win 7 games in a 5-year block, and now they've done it in a little over 7 weeks, I guess you could say. So it's pretty cool to see what former Boise State football player Mike Altieri is doing over with the Boise Brave. He took over one of the toughest coaching jobs in the country and created one of the best teams in the state.
Well, we are going to we'll be watching KTVB again tonight. You'll have all the coverage of what's going on with the high school scene, but obviously go ahead.
I did tell John Anderson, because you don't answer your phone whenever I'm with him and call you for some reason, I don't know, but I got to tell you hi for JA, and he wanted me to give Bora High a shout out too, despite the fact they lost a tough one last night.
There you go. The call usually comes when I'm reading my kids in bed or something. I just can't quite get away to answer the phone. But you recorded the video and sent it last time. I forget where we were at. I enjoyed that. I owe John a phone call, so
I figured that was the better.
I'll try to give John a phone call back. That's the best part about the Bora games is hearing from John. They had a heck of a game, a 2-point conversion or something at the end of the game. So I know most of our listeners don't care about high schools, but it was a great game, right?
It was for the city championship here in Boise. So I know, like you said, a lot of these listeners, they might be from out of town because their kids play for Boise State or something like that. But the city championship last night, and it would be, I don't even know what the equivalent is at the college level. It's but for Boise High School to be good at football, it is really, really rare. I'd say it's about as rare as a losing season at Boise State. It is on the flip side. It's really, really rare for Boise High to be good at football, and they are this year.
Well, I mentioned Boise State volleyball. They'll be in action at noon tomorrow. We had Brandon Walton covering their match last night against Fresno State. They swept Fresno State 3-0. We have a clip from Sean Garris. If we have time, we'll get to that before we get out of here. But go to BroncoNationNews.com. That story is free for all to read and enjoy. A sweep of Fresno State, Jay. Boise State volleyball started 2-6. They've now won 6 of their last 7. They are 4-1 in Mountain West play and atop the Mountain West standings. So shout out to Boise State volleyball. This is a big stretch for them. They're home on Saturday at noon, and then they're home again on Tuesday night against Utah State. So 3 home matches here in a row in a short time period. So they're trying to keep the momentum rolling. They are in first place again, 4-1 right now, dealing with some injuries and battling through it. So if we get to time later in the show, we'll hear from Sean Garris. I actually do want to touch on the basketball team with you as well, Jay, ahead of the scrimmage tomorrow and what we might be looking for there. But I think obviously with the rising viewership we have right now, folks want to talk about the football team and where things are at going into tomorrow night's game. Andy Avalos, just a heads up for folks, is not doing his little morning thing. We don't get a ton out of it anyway. We can't ask questions, so it's not like we would have found out who the starting quarterback was or anything. But Andy Avalos with some recruits in town, some other stuff going on, conveniently canceled his morning session this morning. So no pregame comments from Andy Avalos. We usually find out the hammer carrier or some of that stuff. It's a little quick 2-minute thing on the field on Friday mornings, which is nice that Andy's willing to do that, but we don't get to ask any questions. You don't get a whole lot of actual news substance out of it. But they canceled that today. So if you're waiting to hear from Andy Avalos today, that's not happening, but they are practicing this morning and obviously a big game tomorrow night.
Ooh, big one. I don't know if maybe the 2020 COVID Mountain West Championship in Las Vegas was bigger, but a few times as Boise State played San Jose State, a program that has had their moments under Brent and Brennan, but for the most part has kind of been a cellar dweller in the Mountain West Conference. I don't know if they've hosted them for a bigger game than this one, because it just the wounds are still fresh from last Saturday and the recent events of the season, for that matter. And the Broncos need to get right and feel good about it. And in some areas, I feel like they're pretty close. In some areas, they got some work to do. Well, in a lot of areas, they got some work to do. But yeah, the chance to take a step forward and prove that they are growing and that they can have eye discipline and all the stuff that we've heard over the recent weeks. Their next opportunity comes tomorrow. It's at 6:00 against San Jose State.
Bronco races. Nice to see the game is pretty much a sellout. A lot of this was done in advance. It is homecoming. I think it's parents' weekend. They got the homecoming parade tonight. So they did. A lot of these tickets were sold in advance, but kudos regardless. Nice job. Yeah. We'll see how many actually show up tomorrow. But for a 2-3 football team to essentially have what looks like a sellout tomorrow evening is a pretty cool deal.
I don't care. If anything, I feel like that's even more of a compliment to the administration right now, BJ, because there was a long stretch of time here at Boise State where that department solely, wins and losses solely dictated on their success of trying to sell out that stadium. And if the team was good, they did good. And if the team was okay, well, then attendance was okay. But that administration over there has put in a lot of work. And so even if they began on this months ago, kudos to them for doing that work months ago so that there is a sellout at Albertson Stadium. I think last we heard yesterday is 150 tickets are still out. And if there's only 150 tickets as of, Thursday afternoon, by Saturday evening, that's going to sell out. Like that will sell out. I'm pretty confident in saying that.
So let's get it officially on record here. What do we think happens with the quarterback situation in the game tomorrow? I believe Taylon Green is going to start. I think Taylon Green should start. I have made my points known this week. I'm very curious to see how Boise State handles this. I just think there's too much riding on a potential decision to put Taylon Green on the bench, that whether or not Taylon Green gets the first two series or Maddox Matson gets the second two series, or how you divide it up, I don't think it's that big of a difference. And I think all the other stuff that comes with who is the starting quarterback, I just personally feel like the safer, easier, more logical move, in my opinion, is starting Taylon Green.
I agree with you. There was I'm going to go back to Andy Avalos' post-game press conference, and when kind of talking about the quarterback situation, he used the word mixture, right? And out of everything that kind of happened in that post-game press conference, when he was talking about the quarterbacks, that word has just kind of stuck with me, I guess. And so my answer is I think you'll see a mixture of quarterbacks against San Jose State on Saturday. And I do think that Taylon Green's going to be the first guy out. He has been your starter. I still think that I still think he's meant to be the future of the program, BJ. I just do. And I think the one thing that gets lost in all of this is the fact that he still is only a sophomore. And that might seem like an excuse. That's fine. But, he's still relatively young when it comes to playing the quarterback position. And it is irrational to think that that even junior and senior year Taylon Green is going to show up sophomore year. It just he'll get better, and if anything, that's a good thing. Right now, he hasn't played his best football. He's played good football at times, no doubt, but he hasn't played his best football. But when you look at his God-given abilities, man, like if you can figure out some of these other things that are going on, I really do. One thing that I think is overlooked in all this, because there has been a lack of success at times, I think Bush Hamden can really dial it up. I really do. Like, I think that at times he's doing a really good job. I think there's a lack of execution at times, and especially with where to go with the football. At times, is it meant to go to this guy or this guy? And sometimes, like, you take the easier route or whatever, without getting too far into it. But once it all clicks, it's going to look awesome. I do believe that, but we can only, have so much patience and wait for it to develop. The results have to really start to show up in a more consistent fashion here, especially with conference play ramping back up. I mean, it's conference games from here on out, BJ.
Yeah, and it's It's going to be. I'm as intrigued and as excited for 602 or whatever as I've been in a long time, Jay. In terms of what's going to happen in this game, and that's one of the beautiful things about sports. It's not played on paper. You never know what's going to happen until you get out there and see the game. And Talon Green's going to have some pressure on him, man. If he comes out there and has 2 drives to start the game, if he does start and they're not great, and Maddox Madsen comes in and throws a touchdown pass, I mean, did they just leave Maddox in and let him roll? I mean, if I'm Talon Green, I'm like, all right, I'm starting, and I don't want to give this spot up. Like, you got to make something happen on these first couple of drives here. You don't want the fans to get restless. You don't want the coaching staff to start questioning things. I mean, it is a important first quarter, I think, for Talon Green and his future here to really get off to a hot start.
I would agree with that. That's why right out of the gate, especially this week, I lean on 2, not 10. I right out of the gate, get Ash and Genty involved early and often, make it easy on whoever is under center, and just allow everybody just to get into the flow of the game, and then the flow of the game will kind of take over. Even though, like I said, even though I would say that I think Talon Green's going to start, Maddox Madsen's playing in this game, folks. Like he's playing in this game. And I think that the success of the quarterbacks, the success of the offense when, which quarterback is on the field is really going to dictate who gets to be out there and when they're out there. And so I think the pecking order is still going to be established that it's Talon and then Maddox. But, the play on the field is going to dictate it from there. And so it could be awfully entertaining, or it could be wildly just, vanilla, I guess, in terms of this using the quarterback controversy for this.
Yeah, it would not shock me one bit if Maddox Madsen gets like 1 or 2 series in the whole game and Talon Green plays well enough and they stick with him and they said we played both guys. I mean, I don't think it's going to be 50-50. I saw a comment. Somebody said 50 and then 30 and then 20 in mop-up time for CJ Tiller. I don't know if we're going to get to that, but
if they get to CJ Tiller in this game in mop-up time.
But I would not expect the reps to be split because I am kind of also banking to be. I mean, again, you can say I'm doing this from the heart, not the head, whatever. But I believe Talon Green's going to come out and play well tomorrow and kind of shut some people up. And so I expect him to start. I expect him to play well. And so that means I don't expect Maddox Madsen to get a ton of playing time. I think they're each going to get a couple drives and then kind of decide, from there what happens. What if the over-under was a half, Jay? Just 1 half of a snap. Okay, so 1 play, basically, 0 or 1. What do you make? What do you think the chances are, even if it's a complete 100% decoy for the rest of the season to make Colorado State and other teams have to worry about it? Talon Green, Maddox Madsen on the field for the same play. Can we get it one time tomorrow? What do you think?
I would think it would be amazing. And
I'm even thinking it might be Talon Green going out wide receiver, not even being part of the play, and Maddox Madsen hands it off to Ashton or something. Okay. But just to have him out there, it makes Colorado State have to put 5 hours into prep work next week on it.
Yeah. I'm not going to – I have to say something before I answer your question, okay?
Okay.
Because I'm tired of everybody on Twitter replying to tweets about Talon Green that just say, just move him to wide receiver.
Oh, that's our guy Vlad. Our guy Vlad in here. Here Keaton says, BJ, don't get Vlad started. Yeah, that's what he wants. He says he thinks, put him at tight end is what they think.
That's just not happening right now, folks. Like, come on. That's not that is jumping the gun so much on a player's development that's just like it's ridiculous. It's not happening right now. So don't just quit suggesting it. It's not happening right now. If this experiment really goes south,
right now, it's not happening at all.
Well, I agree with you. I mean, like, if for some reason this really goes south, but it's not, it's more than this year. It's years down the road. He's not moving to wide receiver right now. And I agree, BJ, not even down the road, but it's ridiculous because the kid has, not lit the world on fire this year that everybody's like, oh, let's move him to wide receiver. It's not happening. So
he's leaving before he switches positions here.
I would probably agree with that, BJ, because he wants to play quarterback and he's got a lot of good attributes that would make him a good quarterback. It's just about putting it all together. If I know that coaches can't make decisions like this, BJ. They actually have every single play matters for those guys. If we've learned anything about this Boise State football team, every single play matters in order to win a football game. But gosh, would it be funny if you just put both Maddox and Talon on the field in some way, shape, or form to start the game tomorrow. The comic relief of that would make everybody.
If they both are starters,
Yeah.
oh man,
yeah, that the comic relief of that, it's not going to happen. I'm just saying the comic relief of that would just I feel like the whole stadium would acknowledge that, and there would be some type of entertainment to that. You're talking
about leaning on two. If the first play is going to be a handoff to Ashton Genty anyway, why not have Talon in the backfield next to him, or why not have Talon motion out wide or something? I mean, if you're going to do it anyway, why not?
You put Maddox and Talon Green, you split both of them out, and you line up Ashton Genty in some type of wildcat formation.
Hey, with Brett Rippon and Montel Kozart, we saw some plays where they were both out there at the same time. I mean, they worked it into the game plan. I don't know about week one, but you know how football coaches are. All it takes is 1 week or one play, and Colorado State has to now think about, okay, well, how else could they do this? What if he's over in this spot? And it'll make them think about it. So that's the only reason I think if it were to happen, it would be a complete decoy. The other guy's not involved in the play at all, but it just makes other teams down the road have to think about it.
Yeah, that would be.
We'll see.
Be pretty funny. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. It would be funny if it happened, but
yes.
I also understand right now it's about simplifying, not complicating things right now with that offense and moving forward. So,
hey, let's continue the discussion. We got to thank a couple of our sponsors. We'll be back in 90 seconds. All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mix premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Spirits, perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Our title sponsor is rowpaint.com. For all your commercial, industrial, residential painting needs, check out rowpaint.com. Don't forget about their concrete coatings. Transform that ugly concrete slab on your back patio in your garage in just 1 day. Contact rowpaint.com for a free estimate today. The official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, and our title sponsor at Bronco Nation News is rowpaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union's been helping members achieve financial success for more than 80 years. There's an ICCU branch on almost every corner, but the closest is in your pocket with free eBranch mobile and online banking. CUI more than 500,000 members love ICCU, and join 1 in 4 Idahoans by making the switch today at ICCU.com. Since 1984, Ridley's Family Markets has prided itself on being a hometown food and drug store that employed value members of the local community. Ridley's Family Markets has 13 locations in the state of Idaho and many more in the surrounding states. Download the new Ridley's app to your smartphone, get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line, and find a location near you at shopridleys.com. Former Bronco Matt Bauscher is once again the number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. No home is too big or too small for Matt and his team. Let them fulfill all your real estate needs at BauscherRealEstate.com. All right, Jay, I don't know if you saw the show yesterday. The clip was circulating on social media a little bit. I know a lot of folks here have seen the show, but we had an awesome time yesterday out at Topgolf with Mike Prater and our friend Tommy Alquist. And Tommy has the new phrase. We had Twidiots last year. We had Twidiots a couple years ago from Brian Harson, but there is a new one. It's the Vapors in the basement tweeting. This is a clip, a short clip. First of all, Tommy Alquist, Mike Prater. They have a good relationship, but Tommy Alquist took offense to Prater's, recent column and was excited to come on and kind of debate Prater about the column. So it's only about a 1-minute clip here, but I wanted to play this real quick. It was getting a lot of traction on social media in case anybody missed it. Here's Tommy Alquist yesterday with us at Topgolf. And I know it's some in good fun, but what was your issue with Mike Prater's column here?
Well, I love Prater. I mean,
until you got the paragraph.
Until he gets disappointed. Welcome to the club.
Listen, I'm probably the first guy all the years that reads his columns, and I just think that his words matter. And I think sometimes, when you throw a little fuel on a fire, I'm like, man, don't throw fuel on that fire. It's too early. It's too early.
Yeah.
I mean, we lost to probably the number 1 team in the country. We had a couple of plays that if they would have gone one way or the other, none of this happens. And what is it true? Is it really true? We've got coaches that are the envy of the nation, the quality of individual. Everything I've ever done in my life, if you surround yourself with the people that are like Andy Avalos and like Jeremiah Dickey, and you support and you get through hard times, you're better off than this crazy talk of, hey, change and whatever. And you only need to listen. There's guys that are vaping in pajamas in basements, tweeting all over the place, and they only need a little bit. You just throw them a little bit. So that's why I was so pissed. I'm like, Prater throws those guys a little bit of stuff, and then they vape 2 more things, and they They're not.
You should be a writer. That's so descriptive. That's beautiful. Vaping in your basement. I'm surprised you didn't say mom's basement.
They'll go back to their video games if you don't feed them, Prater.
Tommy, first, before you jump back in, we did have a comment from Bill L. He says, Tommy, I'm not in my pajamas. I'm in my underwear. Get it right.
Be more accurate. Come on, Tommy.
Well, Jay, there you go. Tommy Alquist. I thought that was a funny clip yesterday, and we enjoyed Top Golf for having us out there. By the way, they gave me a $50 free gift card to Taco Bell that I forgot to give away. So if somebody signs up for a $70 subscription to Bronco Nation News today, I'll give you a $50 gameplay at Top Golf, which essentially makes your subscription for the year $20. So if you're on the fence about signing up, sign up for a $70 subscription at Bronco Nation News today. The first person that does it, I will give you a $50 gameplay card at Top Golf. But what do you make? I know there were some some folks were liking what he was saying. Some were saying, not happy with what he was saying. Where are you, I guess, big picture on the fans and kind of the frustration level and what's warranted and when it's too early to panic and things like that?
There's a lot of it that probably is justified, but that's part of the job at Boise State. When you've won as much as Boise State has, 500 seasons 7-5 seasons are just not successful. I mean, that's viewed as a disappointment, right? And so that's part of what comes with the job. Every year you got to put yourself in that 9 to 11 win shot or window and competing for a Mountain West Conference championship to have a chance for the fan base not to call for your head, basically, right? Andy didn't achieve that in his first year. He came really close last year, but in the title game, they came up a little bit short. And now the Broncos will be fighting like hell the rest of the way to salvage the season and do what they covet to do, and that's winning a Mountain West title. And it is still within reach. It is, but I also kind of get that it can be frustrating when the wins haven't been as frequent in the non-con as they had for a really, really long time at Boise State. And yes, they're playing great competition, but
2-8 against FBS teams under Andy Avalos in the non-con. 2-8. They're 4-8 overall if you count the FCS wins, but
right.
2-8 in the last 3 years in the non-con.
And that's not. I mean, that's a.
It's so hard to believe. It took you a second to believe that was true there.
No, I just couldn't remember. I was trying to. I pegged it down to a year, but yeah, you're right. It's just I get why there might be some fans that are agitated by that, man. And here's the deal too. Yes, the people vaping in their basements in their pajamas or underwear or whatever garments they're wearing should not necessarily have the loudest voices, and sometimes you just need to ignore those people. But you would rather have passionate fans than fans that just don't care.
Sure.
Because I've said that, like, I love the freaking Seattle Mariners, and half the time I tweet about them, it's probably, I'm not going to say something negative but it's just some type of frustration at times because I care about them. I love the Mariners. They're the reason why I even like sports, and it should show my commitment and loyalty because they're often terrible. But you would rather have people that care and are voicing their opinions than people that just tune you out and don't show up at games and stop reading or stop watching or stop listening. And so that I'll flip this on its head and say, despite what some fans are saying and overreaction or not, at least they care. And that I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. You don't have to listen to them. You don't, but at least they care. And I'll take that as a win.
Tom says he's on a flight to Boise from Texas right now. So first of all, that's pretty cool that you're on a flight and watching our show. We appreciate you. Can't wait to see the new lights on display tomorrow night. It took us over a month into the season, Jay, but we finally are going to get an evening game here where we can see what the light show in all of its glory here.
Thank goodness, man. I actually did.
You got the sneak peek. We didn't, but
I did get a chance to kind of see it not too long ago, and it's awesome. Like, fans are going to freaking love this, man. I still have I'm still a little worried about how I'm going to handle it after a touchdown or something, or our camera people will, because they're going to be flashing lights, which is just not that's going to be difficult to adjust to, but it's going to be great. Fans are really going to love this. It's going to absolutely enhance the game day atmosphere. And hopefully everybody's walking out of there and it's going to feel like they all have blue lens glasses on because they're going to light the stadium blue following a victory tomorrow over the San Jose State Spartans. But this is just another example of the lengths that the program is going to enhance that game day atmosphere. And it should be a lot of fun there, BJ.
We've talked a lot about the defense, and I think you and I spent 20 minutes on the defense. That's obviously an issue. We know about the quarterback situation, and I do want to have one comment on basketball, so try to keep this brief. But which? I mean, all eyes are on the quarterbacks tomorrow for obvious reasons. But is it the quarterbacks or is it the defense that actually is a bigger deal going into the game tomorrow?
It's probably the defense. I mean, they need to take a step forward. They've allowed too many big plays this year, and they have to get that figured out. By the way, that last comment, I'm going to assume that's Kobe's dad, right?
Where are we at?
Either that's a wildly coincidental last name or not, I don't know. But there's a long snapper on the Boise State football team that is also excellent when it comes to shooting and media skills as well. So
yes,
if Kobe's your kid, he's a great dude, man, and you should be proud of him. I don't know, maybe it's just a coincidental last name.
I would assume we had another one with we have another one with Curran as the last name watching and commenting. Yeah. So I don't know if it's related to Garrett Curran or not. So we get
he's also a great kid.
Yeah, there's Dina Curran. We appreciate you for checking us out. Well, we get a lot of players parents. We met Mr. Oladipo. We were talking to him at the airport at like 4 a.m. Coming back from Memphis, and he said he watches the show. So I know a lot of parents and players and athletic department staff, all that. Heck, I got a text from Leon Rice right after the Tommy Alquist show yesterday saying Tommy Alquist is the best. So even the coaches, players are watching the shows. So you're probably correct.
Gosh, if Leon's watching this now, man, I better up my game.
I think so.
I'm worried about that. Either that or I'm just going to talk trash about RJ Keene. I don't know which way to go with this.
Yeah, there's your confirmation there.
There it is. All right. That's awesome, Tom. Okay, defense. Travels. Sorry, I got off. Yeah, I got off on this here. So, I think I'm curious to see. Andy always talks about, playing to your personnel because personnel is what matters in this game, right? So is there a way that they have now 6 games into the season? I know they love to play with their corners on an island and things like that. Markel Reed has played really well at times, but he's also coming back off an injury, man. Like it's tough for him right now. I don't want to say tough for him right now, but like just to expect him to play a significant volume of snaps week after week after week. I don't know how reasonable that is. And that's me saying it, not Markel, because he's like the ultimate competitor. He's a great leader on this team.
Sure.
So, but either way, how can they kind of adjust things to play to the strengths that they have? And I'm excited to see that against San Jose State, an offense that can really get it going. Chevin Cordero is a good quarterback, man, and he doesn't turn the ball over nearly as much as he used to. But I am going to predict the Rodney Robinson interception this week. I'm predicting.
There you go.
He's came close the last few weeks.
Yep.
I'm going out there, and I'm predicting a Rodney Robinson pick this week.
I called it I went on with Johnny and Prater before the UCF game. Everybody was getting torched, and I said Tubner or Robinson will have a pick, and Tubner got the nice tip and got the pick. So you're calling it tomorrow. I think that'd be it's a nice call. Rodney's a good dude. You enjoy talking to him. All those guys are, so that's there you go. We'll be watching for that in the press box. I mentioned a lot going on tomorrow, Jay. I do want to mention the basketball scrimmage, 3:30 tomorrow, which is one of the reasons that we are doing our pregame show. We're doing it again. We're going to cut into the KTVB viewership. We just happen to be doing our shows at the same time again. Before we get into the basketball talk real quick, before we run out of time, give us the promo for what you guys got going on tomorrow.
Yeah. So again, Big Ten football is kind of taking over the Channel 7 slate on NBC on Saturdays this year. So we're waking up early, which I actually don't mind. 9 to 10 a.m. pregame show on KTVB, a full hour long. We'll be live in studio breaking down the game between the Spartans and the Broncos. And then an hour before kickoff, we'll fire it back up for a digital-only show that just get a little live look at who's on the field, who's in, who's out, those last-minute updates that you need, before kickoff. And not completely ideal, but this is the way that we got to attack it right now. For so long, BJ, I was like, man, I'm looking around at all these other channels and they got all college football on. I'm like, why isn't that us? Well, now it is us. and it's actually making life a little more difficult for me to get the pregame show on there. But we're going to slide, we're going to adjust, we're going to adapt, and 9 a.m. tomorrow. Join us on Channel 7.
Yeah, once I heard Jay's show is at 9.
Going.
Once I heard Jay's show is at 9, I said, okay, we're starting at 8:59 tomorrow. No, but I hate to have counter programming, so if folks want to watch you live, they can watch us later afterwards. But I do want to throw a quick plug in there. We have the trio of Kent Riddle and Brad Bedell that are going to come join me live. We're going to be at the Taco Bell on Broadway. Yes, Brad Bedell, the former O-line coach, is back living in town now and not coaching, and he is good buddies with Kent Riddle and has agreed the two of them and me, 9 a.m. We're going to be at Taco Bell on Broadway. If you're in the area tomorrow, want to stop by while you're watching Jay on your YouTube TV on your iPad or something, stop by. We're passing out some free breakfast tacos. If you want to stop by and say hello, we'll have some BNN shirts and stuff. But I'm very curious. Brad Bedell went to Auburn with Harsin. Now he's back. Kind of catch up with Brad. He recruited Garrett Curran, Ben Dooley, some of these O-linemen. And so looking forward to catching up with Brad Bedell, Kent Riddle. Special pregame show, morning edition, 9 a.m. tomorrow. We'll be at the Taco Bell on Broadway. As you mixing stuff like you, we got my kid's last Little League game tomorrow at 11. So we're trying to squeeze that in. Wanted to make it to the basketball scrimmage, so a lot going on. Decided to just do the show in the morning. So if you can watch Jay live, you can watch us on tape, however it works. But a lot of good content coming from KTVB and BNN tomorrow. Just unfortunately happens to be at least a live show at the same time. But ours will be circulating all day on social media if you can't catch it live. But again, Brad Bedell and Kent Riddle, 9 a.m. live at the Taco Bell on Broadway. One thought, Jay, the scrimmage tomorrow? It's in Extra Mile Arena, mostly because they have the volleyball game tomorrow, but it is cool, and I think shows the growth that this thing's been in Bronco Gym before. Now they're going to go ahead and open up Extra Mile Arena, 3:30. So if you're going to the football game tomorrow, come on down early, 3:30 inside Extra Mile Arena, a free scrimmage. Who or what are you most excited to see, or should fans be looking forward to tomorrow?
RJ Keene, without a doubt. I'm going to put the pressure on him. I want to see his growth, see how he's doing this year. I know that he had an unfortunate kind of injury last year. Where's he at right now, man? Where's his confidence at? I know he doesn't lack confidence, but I'm just curious to see when the lights come on, does he maintain that confidence? And I want to see RJ Keene tomorrow, man. I want to see what he can do and what he can offer to this Boise State basketball team, because if he can be a guy that's that I kind of joke, but I kind of don't. If he can be a guy that provides them, if he's that 6th, 7th, 8th guy off the bench, somewhere in that range that can provide quality minutes, shoot it, score, defend when they need him to, then I think that really is going to show how deep and talented this Boise State men's basketball team can be. And if they really can go on another one of these NCAA tournament runs and maybe even get that first NCAA tournament win, they got to take some of the wear and the tear off their starting five, because Leon had to ride them really hard last year, especially Max Rice and Tyson Degenhart and even Chibuzo Abo and Marcus Shaver. He had to ride those guys hard last year. So if they do have some true depth to this roster where they feel like they can really go 8, maybe even 9 deep, that's going to be the next step for this program, and really, again, contending for a Mountain West championship and another NCAA tournament berth, and maybe even that first NCAA tournament win.
We'll we got great viewership going, so I'll keep the discussion going, and we'll talk basketball. We'll play our Sean Garris volleyball quote as well, and we'll take your comments, your questions. We'll keep it rolling in 90 seconds here on Bronco Nation News. Bronco Nation News is sponsored by Tommy Alquist and Ball Ventures Alquist, Idaho's premier commercial real estate development company. BVA projects specialize in office, retail, flex, medical, and industrial spaces located at some of the most strategic and visible locations in the valley. Need a developer? Looking for new space? Think BVA. At BVA, we are Idaho's developer. The Nicolason family and SON management have proudly been operating Taco Bell restaurants in and around the Treasure Valley since 1969. One of the first to make a 7-figure donation to the Lyle Smith Society, they've also stepped up their support of Boise State athletics with the Taco Bell men's and women's basketball endowed scholarships. The Nicolason family and SON management have committed at least $310,000 by 2026. Get more information on their financial support of Boise State athletics and find information on applying to work at Taco Bell at tacobellworks.com. Lithia Ford of Boise is a proud supporter of Boise State athletics and the official car and truck of the Broncos. Lithia Ford of Boise supports Bronco student athletes through NIL deals, including providing Ford vehicles to Taylon Green and Riley Smith from the football team and Paige Barsh from the volleyball team. Rain's family purchased our F-150 from Lithia Ford. Couldn't be happier with the purchase. Check out the all-electric F-150 Lightning or the electric Mustang Mach-E at Lithia Ford, and make sure to check out their full inventory of vehicles at lithiafordboise.com. The Blue and Orange Store is the perfect spot to get all your gear for your next Bronco game. The Blue and Orange Store has official Nike apparel, including jerseys, shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, and more. Wear what the Broncos wear and get it at the Blue and Orange Store, the second floor of the Boise Town Square Mall, or get free shipping on a $40 order online at theblueandorangestore.com. All right, we appreciate Jay for jumping on. He had to roll, but we got great viewership, so if anybody wants to keep the show going for a few more minutes, we might as well. We'll get to some of your comments. Again, tomorrow morning, hope you can join us. We will be at the Taco Bell on Broadway at 9 a.m. Stop by. We got some Taco Bell gift cards to give away. I'll buy you some breakfast. We'll have a good time, hang out. So if you're in the area, you're not doing anything tomorrow morning, the new newly renovated, remodeled Taco Bell on Broadway near the stadium. Come check us out. Say hello. Talk to Coach Riddle. Talk to Coach Bedell. And we will be happy to introduce you guys and get a picture, whatever you'd like. But as I say, we're giving away some free gear too. And the offer still stands. Next person that signs up for a $70 subscription to BroncoNationNews.com for the 1 year, I'll give you a $50 gameplay at Topgolf. So your year subscription essentially comes down to $20 because you get $50 at Topgolf if you sign up for BNN today. I got one of those. I'll hook you up if we the first person to do it, you get it. And then if you don't get it, I'll hook you up with a round of golf at Timberstone or something else to make it worth it to you for signing up. So we got all kinds of comments coming in. Do we think Breezy gets more snaps if Helani is not ready on Saturday? I definitely think Breezy will play and get some action. I'm guessing, and I just guessing George Helani won't play again. I mean, I think they're hopeful he'll be back maybe after the bye, or maybe the week before the bye next week against Colorado State. I don't know, but I would just, if you're a betting man, I'm just guessing George Helani doesn't play tomorrow, but haven't been to practice, don't have any insight on that to report this week. Just kind of what I'm feeling. But I am really excited for that basketball scrimmage tomorrow. Come on down, support the Broncos. 3:30 is the start time inside Extra Mile Arena. And I think you guys, I went to Canada, watched the team up there in Canada. I think you guys are going to be super excited to see this team play. And your first look at Cam Martin, your first look at, Roddy Anderson, your first look at Omar Stanley, Andrew Meadow, Chris Lockett. I mean, there's some exciting newcomers on this team that I think it's pretty cool. They're doing an open scrimmage before the football game. So come on down early at 3:30. How much better is Max Rice? How much better is Tyson Degenhart, Chibuzo Abo? I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but they had a draft on the field of 68 and they just basically drafted an all-star team of college players. And with one of his 12 picks, you had Jeff Goodman take Tyson Degenhart, his 11th pick. So essentially a top 25 player in the country, according to Jeff Goodman, based on him taking him there in the top 25. So with 12 players on his team. So there's a lot of hype, a lot of excitement around Boise State basketball. And your first chance tomorrow to see the team is at 3:30 tomorrow afternoon. Let's see what other comments we got coming in. A lot of talk on the quarterback situation, what's going to happen there. Again, I'm fully expecting it's going to be Taylon Green, but we'll find out tomorrow. I'd be surprised if it wasn't. Sam is looking forward to seeing the basketball transfers, what kind of impact they're going to have. I think those 3 transfers, man, there's even a chance both of them could find a way into the starting lineup together. I'm sure they'll both start tomorrow because you need 10 players out there, but excited, and they've got the closed door scrimmage next Saturday against Cal. Remember that talk? There was some social media, I forget who it was. They were joking about how Cal and Boise State, if they ever played in basketball, how Cal would smoke them or whatever. Ironically enough, they're playing in a private closed door scrimmage next Saturday, so we'll maybe get some details on how that goes. RJ probably at a Chick-fil-A right now, Jay. If you watch the Tyson Degenhart, that's what I should have done. I forgot to do it. I forgot to play the clip of RJ Keene calling out Jay. I'm going to do it next Tuesday, even though it's a week old. I forgot to do it, but RJ Keene was taking some shots at Jay Tust, and I forgot to play the clip. So that is on me for forgetting to do that. No vaping in Extra Mile Arena. Yeah, that is accurate. But I'm mad at myself. I forgot to play the clip of. If you missed the show, go back and watch it. Great show, Tyson Degenhart show with RJ Keene, Carly Cross, Paige Barsh, and our friend RJ Keene was taking a few shots at Jay, and I forgot I was going to have some fun with it, and I forgot. Kareem says basketball is going to be so exciting this year. Programming note Bronco Nation News, not to toot our own horn, we are the only local media outlet from Boise that is heading to Mountain West Basketball Media Days next week in Las Vegas. They have the women's on Wednesday, the men on Thursday. Bronco Nation News will be there both days. 11:30 next Wednesday, we'll have a live interview with Gordy Presnell and players from Las Vegas. Looking forward to that. And then Thursday, all day, we'll have Leon Rice, Max Rice, Tyson Degenhart. We're going to have all the other coaches, Nico Medved, Jeff Linder, Richard Patino, all the different coaches, Steve Alford, all the coaches around the Mountain West, Brian Dutcher, San Diego State, one-on-one interviews throughout the day next Thursday in Las Vegas at Mountain West Basketball Media Days. So we thank all of our sponsors for making that happen. BVA, Taco Bell, Row Painting, the Blue and Orange Store. You go down the line, Lithia Ford, ICCU, all of our major sponsors helping put this, allowing us to do stuff like this. And your subscriptions matter. Your $70, your $50, your $6.99 a month, it matters. And next Thursday, thanks to all the financial support we've received from our sponsors and from our subscribers, we were able to make it work in the budget to travel down to Las Vegas for Media Days. It's at Resorts World. And again, women on Wednesday, men on Thursday, full coverage of both days at Bronco Nation News. And we were the only media outlet from Boise heading down there. So I'm proud to say that. I don't say that to brag or toot our own horn. I am proud that we are making it happen. We will be there for the women as well, giving them the coverage they deserve on Wednesday, and then the men on Thursday. And then Friday morning, we will wake up and fly to Colorado for the Boise State Colorado State game on Saturday. So a long week on the road next week, but it's all for you guys and giving you the coverage you deserve and giving the basketball programs, men's and women's, the coverage that they deserve as well. So keep that on the docket for next week, Basketball Media Days. If you got any questions or any coaches or players from around the league that you want us to get on, I feel like football is a little different, but for some reason I feel like basketball, you guys kind of know the players and the coaches from around the league a little more. And so I feel like there's going to be some interest in talking to Brian Dutcher, in talking to Lamont Butler, and talking to Jamal Mashburn Jr. and some of these players and coaches from around the league, Isaiah Stevens at Colorado State. So we're going to have live interviews throughout the day, all day. May just keep the live stream going for like 10 hours and just pop on with different players and coaches throughout the day. Who knows? But it's going to be a fun week next week. Again, the women on Wednesday, the men on Thursday, Mountain West Basketball Media Days. And I don't quite have it confirmed yet, but I believe it's going to happen. Maybe one of the first ever, a joint interview with Gonzaga coach Mark Few and Boise State coach Leon Rice. The WCC Media Days are also at Resorts World. So if we can make the timing work, we're going to have Leon and Mark Few sit down on the Bronco Nation News set on Radio Row together. And I'm really looking forward to that as well. So appreciate everybody for your subscription matters. Like I said, your subscription matters. The advertising dollars matter, and your support of BNN has made us, made it possible for us to be the only show heading down to Las Vegas next week for Media Days. So let's take one more quick commercial timeout, and then let's keep the fun going here. 90 seconds. We'll be right back. Bronco Nation News on a Friday, having some fun. You looking for a new job? Well, how about getting into the trucking industry? Our friends at Transportation Compliance Service can help you every step of the way, whether it's the big rig on your screen, the Amazon truck in your neighborhood, all the paperwork, all the things you need. Let them help you out. Transcomservice.com. They'll have you out there towing that first load in no time. Transcomservice.com. United Commercial Insurance makes business insurance easy. They can write business policy insurance in 44 states around the country. UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. Give them a call, 229-8222. Bronco Nation News, a proud client of United Commercial Insurance. We highly recommend you do as well at UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. The Raines family is happy to have made the switch to Boise Dentistry Co. Highly recommend you do as well. Dr. Miner and his staff, full family dentistry for the whole family. They make it an enjoyable experience to go to the dentist, and we highly recommend you check them out. 5 locations in the Treasure Valley. You may think you're happy with your dentist. You'll be even happier if you make the switch to Dr. Miner and Company. Check them out online, BoiseDentistryCo.com. The pounds continue to fall off, and it's thanks to Dave and our friends over at Lean Feast. Check them out, leanfeast.com/Meridian. Full customizable meal prep. You want to go into the store, pick out your meals individually. That's great. It's right there on Eagle Road in Meridian. Or you can do it all online at leanfeast.com/Meridian, and they'll deliver it to you. 208-487-5782. They're feeding the football team, the basketball team, Taylon Green, Ashton Genty, Tyson Degenhart, and more. Check them out. Lean Feast, leanfeast.com/Meridian. Still time to get that fall round of golf in, and you need to do it at Timberstone Golf Course out in Caldwell. Book a tee time at playtimberstone.com. The best greens in the valley, new technology, new golf carts, friendly environment, fun, challenging course. Check them out, Timberstone Golf Course. Book your tee time today, and I'll see you out there. Playtimberstone.com. Got a comment here from Wade. He says, BNN building a platform on men's major sports using leverage to cover women's sports as well. Tip my hat to you, BJ. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you, Wade. I tip my other hat here right back to you for your support and always participating in the golf tournament things. It's been fun, man. It really has. This has been, I feel like you guys are kind of my extended family. All you guys in the chat, a lot of you I've never met in person. Some of you I have, and it's been a lot of fun to kind of just get to know everybody and talk Boise State sports, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And looking forward to the football team hopefully turning it around, the basketball team as well getting going. This is a fun time of year in Boise State athletics. And for the record, I believe it's going to be a very fun night at Albertson Stadium tomorrow night. I believe Boise State will win this rather easily. I think they're going to play well, and they're going to shut everybody up for a night, and I think they're going to win the game. I got 38-17 as my final score tomorrow. So defense going to get a couple turnovers, offense gets rolling. I think Taylon Green has, one of his better games of the season, and I think Boise State wins this game. 38-17 is my official prediction for tomorrow. Now, hopefully some of you guys can come meet us tomorrow. If not, hopefully you at least watch the show. 9 a.m., Taco Bell on Broadway. Tell your friends. Passing out BNN shirts, BNN koozies. Got some gift cards maybe we can give away. But we do have Taco Bell gift cards. Taco Bell gift cards will be given away tomorrow. If you stop by, I'll even buy you a breakfast burrito or something, a taco at Taco Bell. So if you're in the area and you can come support us, it's our first remote with Taco Bell. We would love to show them that we had some interest and had some people that were watching stop by. If you can't make it, I understand, but go support Taco Bell. And hopefully, they'll know that it came from BNN. But if you are able to stop by tomorrow at 9 a.m., we'd love to have you. Have a taco, have a hang out, meet Brad Bedell, meet Kent Riddle. And again, 9 a.m., our live pregame show due to the basketball scrimmage, due to my son's baseball game, just a lot going on tomorrow. So we're doing the show at 9 a.m. tomorrow for the pregame show. I believe Rich Waltz is going to join us, and he may even stop by live as well. Let us know, if you have any questions for Rich or your thoughts, but 9 a.m. tomorrow, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, make sure you're ready to go. We'll be live with Brad Bedell, Kent Riddle, and myself at Taco Bell on Broadway. If you miss it, it'll be on social media all throughout the day, and then you can watch it leading up to tip-off and kickoff. And then post-game, Kent Riddle and I will be back at the James Kitchen and Bar. So right there across the street from the stadium at the James, we'll be there for the post-game show around 9:30. And if a heads up, if Boise State wins, I may skip the post-game interviews so we can start the show sooner, so you don't have to wait an hour after the game to end for the post-game show. We may just test this out and see how it works. So if Boise State wins, be ready for the post-game show to start within like 15 minutes of the game ending. We're going to get it rolling and see if we can maybe get done a little bit earlier in the evening, because I know the James closes at a certain time as well, like midnight or something. So be paying attention for that. So 9 a.m. pregame show tomorrow from Taco Bell. And then about a 9:30 p.m. or so post-game show at the James after the game. So subscribe on YouTube. It's right down here in the corner of the screen, that little red subscribe button. Make sure you hit that real quick. Turn on your notifications so you know when we're going live. Tell your friends, tell your family. Appreciate everybody. Twitter, YouTube, all those great spots. Facebook, you can check us as well. Instagram, TikTok. We're trying to build all the social media channels. So hopefully we'll see you at Taco Bell tomorrow. We got those gift cards to give away. If not, we'll see you post-game at the James. Maybe we'll see you at the basketball scrimmage at 3:30. Come say hello courtside. If you see me sitting there, would love to say hello to you. And again, sign up. If you're on the fence, I got the deal for you today. A $50 game card to our friends at Top Golf. $50 game card at Top Golf for the first person that signs up for a $70 subscription. That brings your yearly subscription down to like $20. And if you're not the first person that gets in, I'll still hook you up with a gift card to some of our great sponsors. I'll let you pick which one you want. So appreciate everybody for checking us out. 56 minutes here on a Friday edition. We still have great viewership, so appreciate all you guys. Hope you have a great Friday. We'll have some stuff coming out from Jordan K later today, and then obviously the game coverage all day tomorrow. So have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you at 9 a.m. tomorrow. 9 a.m. tomorrow here on the social media channels of Bronco Nation News for the pregame show, and we'll talk to you then. Have a great rest of your day. 9 a.m. tomorrow. Kent Riddle, Brad Bedell, Taco Bell. What could be better? We'll talk to you then. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.